Alright, dear children, now we go to the next topic, and this is the last topic almost from this chapter, cells and batteries. Yes, children, to supply current in a circuit, electric circuit, there must be some electrical source. Without some electrical source or device, the current cannot flow. Suppose if you connect a wire with a wire, if you want to pass the current to the wire, the current will not flow to the wire by itself only. So you need to connect that wire with a certain external source, and that external source which supply current through the circuit is cells and what? Batteries. Cells and what? Batteries. So cell, or we simply call as electrical cell. See, cell, or we can call as electrical cell, is a device that converts what energy? Chemical energy into what energy? Electrical energy. Because every cell is comprised by the chemicals, and that chemical present inside the cell is called electrolytes. Listen carefully, what is it? Electrolyte. But every cell has two plates. There are two plates, one is called cathode, one is called anode. So cathode is a negative plate, children. Anode is a what plate? Positive plate. That's why every cell when you use has two plates. One, and we also call the terminal, that one is called positive terminal, anode, one is called negative terminal, which is called cathode. But this cathode and anode are also called electrodes. Electrodes. And these electrodes are always immersed in a solution of chemicals that is called electrolytes. So inside the cell there is a what? Chemical energy which is possessed by these electrolytes. But when that cell is connected to a bulb, when you connect to a bulb or when you connect with a wire, then what happens? That cell supply current flowing through the what? Bulb. So that what happens? That chemical energy inside the cell get converted into what energy? Electrical energy. Because you know flow of current means the flow of charge. So flow of charge acquire energy known as electrical energy. That's why cell or electrical cell is a device that converts chemical energy into electrical energy. Okay. It is used to operate small devices. The cell uses to operate small devices like torches. Yes, we use cell in torches also. Toys is also used by the cell. Video games that you play, that is also work under by the use of cell or batteries. Cell also. Radios, cells. TV cell is also used in TV remotes also, and is also used in small tape recorder. So these are the devices that we use in our day-to-day life, where it is these devices can function due to the use of cell. Okay. Now cells are of different kind and shape. So in market, when we ask for the cell can be made of different kinds and even of different shapes. Now the chemical reaction occurring inside the cell produces what current? Electric current. So electric current supplied by the cell is actually due to the chemical reaction occurs inside the cell. A cell has a voltage. So how much voltage that can supply by the cell? It can from a range of 1.2 volt to 1.5 volt. So maximum 1.5 volt voltage can supply by the what? Cell. But in order to supply more voltage, that means more than 1.5 volt, so one cell cannot be used. So you have to combine the cell. You have to combine two or more cells, and that combination of cell is actually called batteries. So children, no confusion out here. Batteries is the combination of cells. But cells have a voltage of how much? 1.2 volt to 1.5 volt. Okay, and produces only a small amount of electric current. So if you need very small amount of electric current to supply and to supply that electric current to these devices that we discussed just now, in that case we can use a cell, a single cell. Okay, but as I said, two or more cells can be connected. We can connect two or more cells end to end. Means this connection is also called series. Series connection means positive terminal of one cell to negative terminal of another cell to make a batteries, and that you can see in the diagram. So look at the diagram. Yes, so then this is the connection of two cells. This is one cell, positive negative terminal. This is another cell, positive negative terminal. But this connection is done in such a way, this connection is called series connection. What connection? This is called what connection, children? Series connection. Series connection. This is just like a chain. But how to connect two cells or more than two cells in series connection? The negative terminal of one cell should be connected to positive terminal of another cell. and this is the correct way to connect two cells. Like suppose if you connect this way, I'll show you with the help of diagram. See, if you connect this way, this is incorrect. If you connect positive and positive of one cell to another cell, then it is incorrect. That means in this way the current cannot flow. Okay, but in this way the current flows. So this is the correct way of connecting two or more cells. So children, what happened when you connect two cells in series? In that case, what happened? By connecting cells in series, we can make batteries. Now see, if you connect 1.5 volt one cell and another cell of 1.5 volt, so when you connect in series, the voltage will be added. So 1.5 and 1.5 means how much volt? 3 volt. We can make it of 6 volt, or we can increase on and on like that. So in order to increase the voltage, to supply more current in the circuit, you have to connect number of cells, and that number of cells, a group of cells which are connected in series, are basically called as batteries. They are called what? Batteries. So that's why there is a main difference between cell and batteries. Battery is the combination of cell, and batteries supply a higher voltage than cell, and higher the voltage, children, more the current that is supplied by the batteries. Okay, that's why you can see the circuit diagram and the systematic diagram of the cell and the bulb are connected as shown in figure. Let me explain this particular figure, and the figure that we follow is figure 8.21. So this is the simple circuit. Anyone can connect this circuit at home also. Take a cell. One is have positive terminal, one is called negative terminal. But when you connect positive terminal to one end of the bulb and negative terminal to another end of the bulb, then what happens? Definitely, as soon as you connect that cell with the bulb will glow. Why bulb will glow? Because the current will flow. Okay, due to the flow of current, which energy will pass? Electrical energy will pass by the cell, and that electrical energy get converted into which energy? Light energy as well as heat energy. That's why when the bulb is connected to a cell, children, electrical energy is converted into what energy? Heat and light energy. Heat and what energy? Light energy. That's why if you look at the diagram, this is a diagram where a single cell is connected with the bulb. Single cell is connected with the what? Bulb. And children, in a symbolic form, with the help of circuit diagram, we can also show this way. So this is also correct, this is also correct. So this is the symbol of cell. This can be expressed single cell. So look at the diagram. Let me show you. Cell always has two terminal. One is long leg, positive terminal, short leg, negative terminal. Short leg what? Negative terminal. That's why this cell symbol is expressed by this one also. And this is the symbol of bulb. Okay, the round one and cross. If you do this way, and this is the symbol of bulb. Means this cell is connected with the bulb. Okay. In a similar way, we can connect bulb with the cell, which not only with single cell. We can connect more than two cells, which is more than one cell or more than what? Two cells. Okay. Like if you look at the diagram, this is the circuit diagram where you can see there are how many cells connected one after another? Three cells. See, 1, 2, 3 cells. And how many bulb we are using? 3 bulb. 1, 2, 3 bulb. Yes, we can connect 3 bulbs in series connected with 3 cells. In this case also the bulb, this cell, combinational cells can supply current through the bulb. But children, remember this, when bulbs are connected in series, current passing through each bulb remains same. Current passing through each bulb remain what? Same. That's why look at the diagram. In this diagram, 3 cells are connected one after another, which are in series, and this combination of 3 cells are connected with 3 bulbs. 1, 2, 3 bulbs. Okay, so this is also the way we can connect the cells, number of cells which are called batteries, to the bulbs, number of bulbs. And this is the required symbolic diagram of this combination. Now I have explained, children, in detail about what is cell and what is battery. Now we have a last topic to discuss, the dangers of electricity. And this topic is very important also, because once we deal with the electricity, we have to keep in mind that electricity, we cannot play with electricity, because it is very dangerous. Okay, it can take human life also, and at the same time it can do number of effect in our day-to-day life. It can affect it can do number harmful effect also. Okay, as you know, without electricity we cannot do any work, but as being a person, okay, so our human body is also good conductor electricity, okay, that's why we need to take care of self when basically we handle with electricity, okay. So for that we have a topic called dangers of electricity. Faulty electrical appliances. If your electrical appliances are not correct, if at some defect in the electrical appliances and damaged electrical wiring, if the wires which you are connecting are not properly insulated, or the wire which you are using is not there is a leakage in the current, in that case that will lead to a fire. That will lead to a what? Fire. So we can also get an electric shock from this. So suppose if you are using electrical appliances and that is a faulty electrical appliances, and if you are connecting that electrical appliances with a what? Wire, that wire is also damaged, and if you don't take care of that, then in that case it will definitely lead to the what? Fire. And when it lead to the fire, in that case, while if you touch by chance with your hand, or if you touch the electrical appliances, what happen? We even get electrical shock. So this can result in serious injury and even death also. Yes, that's why I said electricity is not, we cannot play with electricity. So we have to take care of ourselves very well. Now, there are certain precautions. There are certain precautions that we need to follow, that we need to handle while dealing with electricity. That's why the following precaution can be followed while handling electrical appliances and while being near electrical source. So children, what are the precautions that we need to handle while handling what? Electricity means, number one, do ask an adult for help when you need to use something that use electricity. Suppose if you are a kid, a very small children, okay, so we can always advise small kids or small children to take a help from adult when you need to use something that use electricity, okay. So do not use by your own, okay. Next one is, do not put anything into a socket except the plug. So every house is provided by the socket. That socket is meant only to put the plugs, but do not put anything inside the socket. Suppose if you put socket naked wire into the socket, and if you touch that naked wire, what happens? Some electricity or current will flow through that wire, and you get some electrical shock. Okay, that's why do not put anything into a socket except the plug. Next, do not use or touch electrical appliances when your hand or body is wet. Yes, this is very important. When your hand or body is wet, please do not touch or use electrical appliances, because as I said, our body is also good conductor electricity, and when your body is wet, the water also form some conducting layer, so that some charge can flow from these electrical appliances to our body. In that case, our body also gets some electric shock. So that's why do not use or touch electrical appliances when your hand or body is wet. The next precaution that we can follow is, do not use a worn out electric cord. Suppose if you are using electric cord, if that electrical cord has worn out, so please reject it, just throw that, okay, just keep away from it, because that will always lead to leakage of some current flowing through the circuit, and in that case, if you touch by hand, okay, in that case you get electric shock also. So do not use a worn out electric cord. Now we have next precaution that we need to keep in mind, that is, do look up and look out of power lines before you climb a tree. Yes, suppose you want to climb a tree, or suppose you have some work to climb a tree, please look up and look out of power lines, if there is any power lines, before you climb a tree. Suppose you are climbing a tree, and if there is a power line passes from that nearby that tree, by chance if you touch, okay, then what happens? When you get some electric shock. And especially you have to be very careful with the line which passes near to the tree, that is called high tension wire. So then you have maybe seen in your area also, there are the big wire, okay, 3 or 4 line wire passes nearby the house or by the tree, and that is high tension wire that supply very high voltage. And you know what happens when you touch that wire? The people die also immediately also. So this is also need to keep in mind. And the last one is the second last one is, avoid flying kite near power lines. Yes, if you play with the kite, please avoid flying kites near the power lines. This is also one of the precautions that you need to take while handling electricity. Now we have the last one, that is electrical appliances should be switched off. Suppose if we are using electrical appliances, it should be switched off and the plug should be removed from the socket. First we switch off the electrical appliances, then only you can remove the plug. Without switching off the electrical appliances, if you remove the plug and by chance your hand is wet, or by chance if you touch that plug, if the current is leaking through, in that case also you get some electric shock. That's why overloading of electric sockets should be avoided. Overloading of electrical sockets should be avoided. So I have discussed all the important precautions that we need to handle electricity. Okay, so these are the explanations which I have done from this chapter. So with this particular topic, the chapter electricity is also get completed. So children, we have completed syllabus for your final examination also. Okay, but I request everyone to solve the question, especially the question from section 2 from this exercise, and the question which I'll give you that you need to answer by yourself, because section 1 questions answer I have already given in the WhatsApp group. So thank you so much for watching this video and understanding the lessons.